She's alright, she's alright, she's alright. Cocaine. Bear. I'm Justin.
Should have seen what the flying squirrel did after it got a hold of the cocaine. I'm Sam.
Well, you know you got a problem when you're taking hits off a dead man's leg. I'm Jackie, and this is Cocaine Bear on Stinker Madness.
Hello and welcome to Stinker Madness. This is a podcast about bad movies for bad movie lovers. I'm your host Justin. With me are always Sam and Jackie. This week on the show, we do a bad movie field trip going to one of the most successful movies of the year 2023 in its early phases. Directed by Elizabeth Banks of Elizabeth Banks fame, Kerry Russell, Ray Liotta, Ice Cube's kid, and probably some other people. Cocaine Bear. Sam.
Well, the backstory of Cocaine Bear is pretty interesting stuff. We only get a little bit of Kerry Russell's husband, Matthew Rhys, plays the Andrew Carter Thornton II at the beginning in the airplane, the coked out guy that's like, yeah.
That's Kerry Russell's actual
That's her
husband? Actual, in real life. Oh, okay.
We'll get to the, this is a bunch of friends later.
Okay.
After the history, the deep history of the Cocaine Bear.
Yeah.
So this guy was a Purple Heart on the invasion of the Dominican Republic, gets out of the army, joins the Lexington Fayette Police, becomes sort of the head of their narcotics squad, gets a law degree from the University of Kentucky.
Okay.
And resigns from the police force to practice law, air quotes.
Practice
because at this point,
law.
he was just smuggling drugs.
Wait, so a war hero turned cop turned lawyer was running coke.
You can't make any money doing the other shit.
So you can't trust our heroes. You just can't trust them.
Well, I mean, when posed with these, would you like to make all of this cash with the skills you already have? The people are going to do the cocaine anyway. You obviously can't stop it because you tried. It's a tough one. You're like, yeah, you're going to go with the cash.
I think that's an easy choice for me. I'm a little familiar with the Colombians and their way of doing things. Their neckties are what I've heard not real fun. So I'm like, all the cash in the world and have to like murder families for not paying debts and like knowing things. And like, I saw the Ozarks and like lots of people get shot in the face and there's blood on other people's faces. I'm out. There's no amount of money. I'm not interested.
Yeah, I won't have to worry about that. They seem like they absolutely don't want signs letting people know where they are, so I won't have to worry. My skill set is just outside of
Get your coke here. It's this big neon blinking. Coke on ramp 32.
Pablo's Hippo Farm. So, this guy he didn't get caught.
Okay.
Because, I mean, he died about the same way, right? But before this, beyond just smuggling coke in, this guy had smuggled a lot of shit in. Mm-hmm. He also got arrested. They were under suspicion of 1,000 pounds of marijuana in through Baja, something like that.
Okay.
But that's not the interesting thing. When he was arrested in Fresno, they were absolutely certain that he had stolen weapons from NAS, the China Lake Naval Weapons Center. You wouldn't be stealing guns from there. You would be stealing fucking missiles. He never got caught for that.
Yeah, that's not great. So who knows who has those?
Yeah. Like, maybe there was some surface-to-air missile, like, handheld stuff going on, but, like, these are heavy weapons that are built down there. So this guy was into some shit.
I read an interesting fact this week about the border and shut down the border, Uncle Joe. Did you know that 50% of American gun manufacturing is smuggled into Mexico? We have a lot of guns in America, and half of them are going across their border.
Under the same tunnels, they're like waving at the gun guys and the coke guys are like, hey, Phil, what are you doing this weekend? How are the kids?
Yeah, I mean, like, look, I'm not a big fan of fentanyl. I'm not down with it. I think it sucks. But I, like, when it comes to Fox News yelling at people and saying, oh, we got to shut down these Mexican criminals. Dude, we're the ones, white people are the ones that are selling fucking rocket launchers to the Mexican cartels. Are you kidding me? We're the problem.
It's a big problem.
Yeah.
That is fixed if you're like Oregon. We're just going to make it and sell it here.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Try to get people not to overdose. No one wants to hear that, though.
Nobody likes it.
Ah, the cocaine bear. What really happened to the cocaine? Well, actually, I should. When they found his body in the man's yard that he fell in because his chute didn't open.
Okay.
He was wearing Gucci shoes, a bulletproof vest, night vision goggles. 35 pounds of cocaine and innumerable guns and knives. It didn't even say how many guns and knives. What? Pistols and knives. So I'm like, that's like more than 5, probably.
What year was this?
85 when he died.
Okay, all right. So he's passing DB Cooper on the way, and they're like, I love you in Wall Street. Blah. Both crash to the ground.
All of the coke was thrown out of the plane. There was him and another guy. I don't know if they recovered the other guy's body. They were in 75-pound plastic containers.
Okay.
They say nobody ever found him, but I'm sure it all got found by people that didn't tell anyone that they found it.
By Sid
and
White.
Sold it or did it or whatever, right? Yeah. The bear had apparently ingested at least 75 pounds of cocaine.
That is an extreme.
They have found multiple containers completely torn open, and there wasn't any cocaine. The bear was dead. The investigative head coroner in Georgia was like, well, I'm curious. So he opens, this is a crime. I'm allowed to do this, and I'm curious. I'm not going to pass on this. I'm the head guy. I'm doing this one myself. The bear's stomach was completely full. Like that bear is full to the gills of cocaine.
Oh my God.
Its stomach was all the way full of cocaine, so probably more than 75 pounds. Also, he was able to determine the toxicology report that the bear had only actually absorbed about 3 to 4 grams before it OD'd and died.
Oh, Jesus.
So the cocaine bear didn't actually kill anybody. He was probably super high for 15 minutes and then OD'd immediately.
Maybe not even that. It apparently, well, like how much does it take to kill a human, do you think? I don't know.
I don't know a lot about cocaine. I'm going to be real honest with you.
Yeah. I mean, 3 grams is a lot? I don't even know.
I don't know a lot about cocaine. I'm not going to lie.
Jackie, you want to weigh in on how much it takes to kill a person?
I have no idea.
3 grams. I mean, but the problem is like you have to know about cocaine to even know how much a gram weighs because we're American and we don't know what the fuck a gram is. But kilos, aren't kilos like the brick?
A kilogram.
Right, but
1,000 grams.
Isn't that the brick?
These were in 75-pound plastic containers, so there was multiple kilos, because a kilo is about 2.3 pounds.
Okay, so you know something. So 2.3 pounds, let's do the
math. I know something about the metric system,
right.
Not really
so
about cocaine.
Let's break 2.3 pounds, divide that by 1,000. That's not very much weight. I would think that would be like the knife full of Coke that the cops are always tasting. Yep, that's Coke.
It seems like 3 to 4 grams is probably like an evening's worth of cocaine. If you did it all at once, you'd probably die. The bear died from it.
You think that, I guess if you did it all at once. Okay, yeah.
So the guy, the coroner's like, fuck, that bear's full of cocaine. This is too weird. So let's get this thing taxidermied.
What?
Let's really.
It gets weirder. It gets weirder. So they taxidermy the bear
with the Coke in it, or without the Coke, or did the Coke?
I don't think. I think you got to get I think you burn the Coke and then you kind of stand close to the flames and act like you're doing God's work, but then go, oh yeah, I'm getting kind of high.
Okay, let's back up one more time. If you're the coroner and you're in the room by yourself and you've got a bear full of Coke in its belly, I'm assuming that like some of the Coke, clumped together, and when you get clumps of like yeast and then you try to break it apart and the inside of the yeast ball is still just yeast, would you take a bear bump?
I don't think you would. The stomach acid's going to make it gross.
Yeah, but,
secondhand cocaine isn't a thing. Especially from a bear.
I'd try it.
This Coke is used. Oh my God.
So they're gonna donate it to a museum. I think they did. At some point, the bear disappears.
What?
The bear disappears. The rumor is that Waylon Jennings stole
Get
the cocaine
fuck right
bear.
out of town.
Or just bought it or something, but it seems to be in Waylon Jennings' possession. The cocaine bear. And why not? If anyone was going to have a cocaine bear, it should be Waylon Jennings.
That's bonkers.
Somebody gets a hold of it back from Waylon Jennings, and then supposedly it's in a state of decomposition. They either fix it or fake it, but now the cocaine bear is in the Kentucky for Kentucky Fun Mall.
What? He's in a mall?
Yes.
God, what shit.
And it's the Kentucky for Kentucky Fun Mall.
I'm going to key you guys in. I don't live very far from Kentucky. I got to look this up.
Well, it gets weirder. Because of the marriage laws in Kentucky, you can get married by the cocaine bear.
Oh my God.
And this is what's weird about the Kentucky marriage laws and being able to be married by the cocaine bear.
We're 5 hours away from cocaine bear, Jackie.
Yes, you have to have an ordained minister marry you, but if the two people that are getting married think that the person's ordained, then they're still legally married, because in Kentucky you can't tell people that they're not married. So as long as you believe, the bear can marry you, and it's totally legal. A stuffed bear marrying people, and it's got a little K hat.
What's
That's
a
for
K hat?
Kentucky.
For Kentucky. It's
Yeah.
Kentucky for Kentucky.
Oh
K
my
for Kentucky
God.
for Kentucky.
Oh my God.
Jackie, you
it's
want to
named-
renew your our vows?
Yes.
Buy a bear.
Yes.
Why not, right? It's Pablo Escobar.
Pablo Escobar! Duh! Of course it is.
The spec script for the movie was based on a Reddit post that kind of detailed these things in a similar or different way. I didn't read the Reddit post, but the tagline was that for 20 minutes, this was the most dangerous apex predator in the continent. And then indeed.
I don't know. I have some questions about a bear on cocaine, if it would be dangerous.
I probably was just really fucked up.
Just like, yeah.
Yeah. And
I
then
wouldn't
died.
want to walk in on it, but like, is it gonna? Clearly, it didn't go hunt down anybody.
No, I mean, it was going to be that much cocaine. It died very fast.
Yeah. John Travolta walks in with a EpiPen, stabs it in the heart.
The spec script seems to be really unaltered. I'll give that to a little bit of that later. Phil Lord and Christopher Miller are the ones that find this. They are, of course, Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, Lego Movie, Into the Spider-Verse guys.
Okay, all right. Animators.
The duo from Scream, the new Scream duo, was supposed to be directing, but they passed to do the Scream that's coming out at the same weekend, pretty much, or the weekend after this came out.
This weekend.
I went to the theater and I was like, "What the fuck is going on?" And I was like, "Oh, Scream came out this weekend," because I had to get in line for a hot dog, and that never happens.
Creed's
2:20.
Creed's packing butts and seats still too. So
everyone there was a teenage girl. They're not there
that's
for Creed.
Scream. That's Scream. Yeah, everybody at the theater was middle-aged black men when we went and saw Cocaine Bear, and I was like,
So they were
going to Creed. Yeah, they were stoked
Yeah.
about Creed.
Brownstone Productions then is contacted possibly to help because the Scream people aren't interested. Which is, of course, Max Handelman and his wife, Elizabeth Banks.
Mm-hmm.
They have done such successful films as the Pitch Perfect series, which apparently made a lot more money than I thought.
Yeah, it's not for us, but yeah, that thing rakes in cash. High School Musical shit.
Unsuccessful. And this is where I read a Variety article about 2 weeks ago that Elizabeth Banks was basically betting the farm on this thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think she really was, because you're never betting the farm on a $35 million production.
No.
You're like almost guaranteed to get it back. But it was sort of a sidestep from where she was headed, because Charlie's Angels tanked. Charlie's Angels only made like $15 million in the US. It made
Charlie with Cameron Diaz and
with the Twilight Girl. There's another Charlie's Angels.
What?
Elizabeth Banks directed it. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Jackie, did you know about that?
No, that is total news to me.
When did this happen?
2019, I think.
Get out of town. That wasn't even COVID. Like,
They spent like
it's in the before time.
65 million on it, and I think it only made 15.7 domestically. It made like 75 altogether, but they didn't make it back.
Huh. Is that an episode?
Maybe. We'll find out.
Huh. How did that not make, like, wow. I no idea that existed.
So, yeah, Banks they went in on this one. Are like, yeah, we're going to be able to get back on track with this Cocaine Bear thing. And I was watching an interview with her, and they're like, how did you get this? And she's like, my agent sent this to me. And I thought to myself, wow, this guy really knows me. He knows that this is exactly the shit that I want to be doing right now.
Okay.
Or that she just really likes cocaine.
Or bears.
Yeah. Just craziness. She seems like she enjoys the craziness.
Yeah.
Like the kind of cast of friends, like O'Shea Jackson Jr. is probably recommended to her by Seth Rogen, who she's friends with. But apparently everybody that was on Zack and Miri Make a Porno loved it, loved each other, lifelong friends, didn't really make any money. Kevin Smith ended his career over the deal, not making any money. He was like quoted as saying, Judd Apatow can put Seth Rogen in a lifeless fish. I put him in this movie and nobody watched it. I suck. I hate my life. I can't figure out how Ray Liotta gets into the thing other than like, who else do you have to be this bad guy? Like Ray Liotta's the guy, right?
Coke guy.
I don't know. And then with the cop, that's also the cop in 25th Hour. He's in movies with Ray Liotta, so you figure Ray's like, oh no, you got to get him Whitlock for this part. But he died like a week after he did his ADR, and Elizabeth Banks said that he was super pumped when he saw the bear. It was done by Weta.
Oh, okay. I thought the bear looked fine.
I thought the bear looked really good for $35 million budget.
Yeah.
Because you're figuring that now Banks and Russell and her husband and Margot Martindale, who are the cast of The Americans, because that's where you get, Elizabeth Banks is like, well, my friend Carrie's perfect for this. And then she's like, you should bring in my husband and Margot Martindale. They're perfect for this. We were in The Americans together, which is the Russian spy thing.
Right.
So you're looking at a bunch of people that are probably doing it on points. So there is gambling involved, because if that bear looks that good and Weta was involved, and at the $35 million budget, like, what do you think they got? $25 million?
Back on
the bear's
this?
in a lot of the movie.
Do you think what they got back on this?
No, what did they have to pay Weta for that bear?
Oh, just the bear?
I'm thinking $25 million.
I would say 10, but I don't know.
The bear is in a lot of this movie.
It's in a lot of the movie, yeah.
In fact, when we start talking later about creature features and things like this, like, well, I'll save this for later, but like this being done the way that it was done has made a lot of things possible in horror movies and creature features.
Yeah, sure.
The park wildlife expert is Jesse Tyler Ferguson from American Family, who Elizabeth Banks did episodes for, so they're friends.
Okay.
I already kind of talked about O'Shea Jackson Jr. And then you get to Alden Ehrenreich, the lesser Han Solo. He did some movies with Margot Martindale, so I mean the connections are everywhere. Like, these people all sort of know each other.
Who are you talking about?
Han Solo?
That's Harrison Ford.
The lesser, the one that was too short and really ruined the backstory of Han Solo. It's not his fault. It's the writers and the casting department. What are you talking
about?
The movie Solo.
I thought that was a tall guy.
Nope, it's this guy.
Who's this guy in the movie?
He's the son of Ray Liotta.
Eddie.
Yeah.
Oh.
No way, that's the same guy?
Huh.
When he was on screen standing next to I said out loud almost in the theater, isn't he a little short for a stormtrooper?
Huh. God,
I try not to be like heightist, but I was like, this is not a great cast. It's not this guy's fault. He's trying his best. He did everything he could to emulate the mannerisms, but he was just so not Harrison Ford that it didn't work for me.
Solo I completely brain dumped that movie completely. I don't remember a single thing.
Twice because I was like, one, I was like, this is not the guy for this. Oh, that sucks. And then two, I wanted to throw something at the screen when Woody Harrelson showed up. I'm like, Woody Harrelson, you gotta be fucking kidding me. So I ended up watching it again to see how bad it was, and Woody didn't do that bad. It wasn't as bad as the initial knee-jerk reactions.
Yeah, sure. All right, what else you got?
I don't know where, the guy from Game of Thrones, him and the Dutch girl actress that do the camping on the front end, the hikers.
Yeah.
I don't know where they figure into this equation on who they know. But everybody else seems to know each other. And Isaiah Whitlock Jr. knows Ray Liotta, the cop. That's the cop in a lot of shit. Mm-hmm. I believe he was a doctor in Goodfellas, but I was surprised to find out that the spec script by Jimmy Warden did not have all of the... I mean, when you're writing a spec script, you can't. So I'm not really surprised. You can't write in actions. Like, you have to leave a lot to directors to want to fill in their own blanks. And it was Banks that was like the one that's like, no, we need to fucking bring the gore on this shit. If people are getting eaten by a bear, it needs to look like people are getting ripped apart by a bear.
Yeah, this can't be PG-13. It's called Cocaine Bear.
And she was also insistent that after initial talks, they're like, well, what would because the working title is Cocaine Bear, and everybody in the room's like, you got anything better? And she's like, I'm straight up not going to do this if you change the name.
Bad Day in the Woods? I mean...
it doesn't work. Cocaine Bear is where it's at.
It has to be.
I went to see Cocaine Bear, and I saw Cocaine Bear.
Mm-hmm.
The last thing that's sort of interesting is that somehow they got behind this. The Asylum doesn't usually miss their dates.
Right, okay.
They did a mockbuster on this, but they went a little bit wild, and they got Christopher Olin Ray to do it. And he was apparently done shooting it last month, and they're not going to release it for a couple more months. And I'm like, you guys usually edit shit in like a week.
Yeah, this should have been out a week before.
He got it
Cocaine
done.
Bear.
It seems like you were right on schedule with shooting and everything, that this would be out around the same time.
Are you talking about Meth Gator?
Meth Gator. Yeah.
Is that based off a true story?
No. It's based off of the Asylum cashing in on actual movies.
So yeah, that's what I got.
Okay. Jackie, you want to add anything? You've been awful quiet this whole section before we get started.
Well, basically, I was quiet because all that stuff was super fucking interesting. And I was just kind of like sitting here with my mouth open like, you're fucking kidding me. I totally want to get married by the Cocaine Bear.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't believe that doctor didn't take a bump. I'm sorry, he did it. He did it.
Or sell it. What's the street value of 70 pounds of sweet candy?
75 pounds? I don't know, like 100 million.
That's a lot of money.
What they had on the 35 pounds on the guy that hit the ground without the parachute going off, they had that valued at like 35 million, like 55 million in today's money, something like that. So,
see, I almost think that there's a missed opportunity here with the Cocaine Bear. The Cocaine Bear is the actual Cocaine Bear from real life. It dies, goes to the morgue, and then the Colombians hatch a Danny Ocean style heist to get the Cocaine Bear and get that cocaine.
I think you sell the cocaine to really rich buttholes who want to do a bump off of a bear who did cocaine.
Bear guts, just so they're like the people that go to those illegal restaurants and eat, like dolphin and, like they're just assholes that eat things, consume because they're rich and powerful. They've got to do, hey, that poor person's never done any of that bear coke. You done bear coke? I've done bear coke.
It was better than panda meat.
Yeah, right? What would happen if a panda got a hold of coke and didn't die immediately?
Maybe they'd get better at basketball finally. They didn't make any baskets when I saw them.
Stop falling out of trees and down hills and dying from not having sex. They'd actually save their species because they'd be like, they'd start turning into rabbits and fuck all over the place.
Maybe.
How to save the panda bears. Okay, let's do this. The year is 1985 in this film. The plot, or the start, I mean, it pretty mirrors what you just said. There's a guy in a plane. He's dropping coke over, I guess, Troy. I mean, like, so how does this work? Like, if that guy hadn't died, because my knowledge of like the cocaine cowboys is they would dump it in the sea and a boat would go and pick it up. But if you're just dumping it over, like, how? I'll get it. I'm right here. I'll catch. Like, where do you get? How do you get the coke?
So if he's the pilot and he's good at this, and he's throwing it out on schedule while the plane's flying in a straight line, he's basically going to come down in a spot where he knows where to backtrack and find all of it.
Oh, so he's going to get his own coke.
Yeah.
Okay, so he just doesn't want to land the plane someplace and have the TSA be like, wow, that's a lot of coke. You're going to jail forever.
In reading the how this happened, he might have just been coked out of his gourd, because him and the other guy are like, the plane's too heavy. And I'm like, but you've already been flying it forever.
Right.
So I think they might have been short on fuel or something.
Okay.
Is where they were at. And then there's a designated drop point. So that's the only thing that makes sense, is that they were like, they ran the math and they're like, we're not going to make it.
We got to ditch.
So we got to ditch.
Okay. All right.
And this is the designated ditch spot. So we're ditching here.
Okay. This is our last run because I'm not going to have a plane tomorrow. Okay. So he's dumping coke out of the sky and he bonks his head. And then falls to his death because the parachute doesn't know. I am not real happy with this movie because him bonking his head was flat as fuck. It should have been hilarious. It was not.
Yeah.
Jackie thought I looked over to see if she was laughing at him because she likes people getting hit in the head. She was mum. And I'm like, if you can't make Jackie laugh from head injury, you have done something wrong here.
It's flat because he's so comedy gold throughout that sequence that a bonk on the head is a downgrade from what he's doing.
Right.
Like if he jumps and pulls the cord and like a sandwich comes out, all of a sudden it's funny.
The Bugs Bunny piano.
Because he's going to say something like a coked out guy would say, or if the cord rips, he's just like, fuck! That's funny. Bonk on the head is a downgrade from the comedy gold that this guy is delivering.
Yeah, so he falls to his death, and Detective Bob, that's what he's Detective Bob, that's what we're gonna call him. He goes and examines the body, and it's got coke all over him, and he's like, I know this guy. He's part of Sid White's crew running coke out of St. Louis. So I'm gonna get him.
Yep.
I like Bob.
He's pretty good at doing this part.
Yeah. I thought he was a fun character. He's got a little dog. Like he wants a big dog, but instead he's got a little dog. So he's slowly falling in love with the dog over the course of the film.
Doing the exact same part he did in the 25th Hour.
I didn't see that.
That's a pretty good movie.
Okay.
But to comedic effect without changing a whole lot. So it's just a good character that he's got. His cop character is a good character.
Yeah. He's not a tough cop. He's not one tough cop. He's just a guy that is a cop.
Yeah.
He thought he was adopting a Labrador, but he got like
A Shih Tzu.
Yeah.
I think it's
that
a Shih
I
Tzu.
thought was funny. Like he's so busted up about this. Like, what kind of company does this? Where you just like
mail order dog.
I mail ordered a dog, and this is the one I got. Because I mean, a Labrador's less money than that dog.
Sure.
I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
It's just like are these the sendbacks? Is whatever we got we're
Returns.
sending?
Yeah.
Yeah, the return department.
Previously used dog. Refurbished. It's a refurbished lab. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's gonna go to St. Louis, track these guys down, and see if he can find where the rest of the coke is, because he knows that what's on the body is not enough. There's more out there. I gotta find that coke before somebody who shouldn't find the coke finds the coke. So I'm gonna go to St. Louis rather than, well, I guess he's in Tennessee or something like that.
Yes.
He's nowhere
the
near.
body hit the ground in Knoxville, Tennessee.
Yeah, he's nowhere near where the drop is, which is in Georgia. Yeah. Okay, so cut to our bear. He finds the Coke. Pablo. Let's just call the bear Pablo. And he finds the Coke, eats up the Coke, doesn't snort the Coke, just eats it. Why would a bear like what is it food?
Bears will eat about anything.
Yeah, but is it food? Like, why would the bear eat the Coke? I mean, I ate it in real life. I don't understand the biology that would cause a bear to be like, that's food.
It sniffs it, gets all high, starts eating it.
Wants more. Okay,
yeah.
So it's just a drug thing.
The bear is instantly addicted to cocaine.
Yeah.
And then dies from it immediately.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So it eats up that yummy, yummy Coke. Meanwhile, Elsa and Olaf, they're out for a lover's hike. Newlyweds, or maybe they're about to get married, but they're very up each other's ass. And they see the bear scratching its back on its tree, and then it's not scratching its back on its tree. It's bashing its head against a tree because it's like, I'm high! Which I guess is that what Don Jr. does when he gets all bash his
Just
head?
slips and falls in the bathtub and starts screaming for help.
Kimberly! She's yelling at him. Ah! Oh man, God, could you imagine their apartment? Okay, so they're like, hey, get some shots of the bear. And so they take some pictures, and he goes to reload the film, and then the bear's like, oh, it's right there.
And he's like, don't run. And so she just sprints.
You know much about bear?
If it's black, fight
defense?
back. If it's brown, lay down. If it's brown, lay down. It sucks because you're just going to let it eat you alive. Like, if you confront a grizzly bear, you're just fucked.
Is that the truth?
If you don't have a really high caliber... If you don't have a gun that can drop a grizzly, you're dead.
What about a brown bear? What about a brown bear?
Brown bears, a 500-pound brown bear, which is what the cocaine bear was, is actually really big. That's about as big as they get. Most brown bears are like shoulder height at your hips. They don't like being punched in the face.
I thought it was a black bear.
This is a black bear. They don't like it being punched in the face. The brown bears are grizzly bears. Black bears are smaller.
No, there's the American brown bear. It's not just brown because that's what it's called. It's not a grizzly. It's a brown bear.
Black bears can be brown. They're just smaller than the brown bear, which is grizzlies.
I thought that there was an actual brown bear.
Grizzly bears are brown bears.
Jackie, you know anything about bears?
No.
Ditka. That's what I know about bears. What about polar bear? What do you do with the polar bear?
The polar bear is a white version of a brown bear. They're basically grizzly bears.
Okay, so you run? Or you fight?
No, you get killed by it.
Oh, okay.
If you can't drop it with a high caliber rifle, you die.
Okay. What do you do with a koala?
Cover your eyes.
Punt it?
No, there you have really bad claws. You just stay away from koalas. They can't cover a lot of ground, so you just as long as you keep some distance, the koala won't scratch your face off.
Okay.
You try to hug it because you think it's cute, it will scratch your goddamn eyes out.
What about a koala bear on cocaine?
It might descend from above.
Slowly, like a spooky spider.
It's up there, you don't see it, and it's just like, I gotcha! Death from above!
Okay, so Pablo, he knocks Elsa to the ground, and she's killed all Velociraptors off-screen-ish. Yeah.
When the first leg flies out, I'm like, oh, they're leaning in. I've already seen a leg. It's been 10 minutes. This is going to be gory.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I'll save that for the end. All right.
I thought it would have been better if it would have hit him in the head.
Yeah. I mean, I'm supporting all of the it would have been betters. Okay, you guys have free pass this episode to say it would have been better, even if it's stupid, because I think that there's a lot of room for improvement here.
When she was talking to the interview, she tried to keep the gore and the comedy separate. Was that a good choice? It was a choice.
It was a choice, yeah. Okay, so elsewhere, we meet Carrie Russell's family. Dee Dee is her daughter. I don't know what happened to Dad, if there was one. Maybe Dee Dee's...
He's on the toilet.
Is that the whole movie?
Yeah, what she calls, because when she's catches her playing hooky, she calls her dad to find out what the fuck's going on. Mm-hmm. And his new wife won't let her talk to him. And she's like, why the fuck can't I? His daughter is playing hooky. You gotta let me talk to him right now. And he's, what? He's on the toilet? Every time I fucking call, he's on the toilet. What the fuck is wrong with him? So that's all I know about her dad is that he can't get off the toilet.
Yeah, he's got a Taco Bell addiction. Taco Bell bear. Oh, what would happen then? All right, so Dee Dee is skipping school because she is a budding artist and wants to go into the national park and paint a pretty photo or pretty portrait of a waterfall.
The Secret Falls.
Secret Falls. That's on the map and is labeled Secret Falls.
I also forgot to mention that this isn't shot in Georgia.
Oh?
Shot in Ireland.
Why would you do that?
I don't know.
Okay.
Because why wouldn't you?
Well, because Georgia
Free
has
trip
got
to Ireland?
Georgia has got a very, maybe this is the boycott because of the abortion stuff that Hollywood was proposing, but Georgia's got a very tax-friendly system for filmmaking, and most of the state is beautiful. So
they've pretty much stolen half of the output from Hollywood at this point.
Yeah, until the boycott. I don't know where we're at on that.
But you could have a really good tax incentive in Ireland and keep that budget down to the 35 so you can pay the Weta guys more for that bear.
Yeah, that's true. And isn't Weta in England?
I thought it was in New Zealand.
Okay, that's a ways away from Ireland.
Data transfers don't cost anything.
Yeah, I think that's about as far as you can get. There's probably a delay, like when you're on Skype, saying, hey, bear looks good. Okay, well, it'll be, can I see something? Yeah, I'll upload it. It'll be next week.
After Lord of the Rings does what it does, Weta's probably got shit all over the globe.
Yeah, they probably got shit all over the globe. Okay, so Henry, the precocious little scamp that's friends with Dee Dee, he tags along. He's like, I hate school too, and I have a crush on you. Let's go to the woods, child. So they are out in the woods. They find the Coke, and they're like, what is this? It's Coke. Let's eat it.
Well, she's like goading him. She's like, you don't, have you done Coke? And he's like, yeah, I totally do Coke after church with a guy that you don't know. Because you can't accuse me of not doing the Coke.
Right. I'm a tough guy.
And she's like, well, how do I do it? And he's like, you just eat a spoonful of it.
Eat a spoonful.
She knifes him. She's like, knife me. And he gives her the knife, and she tries to eat a mouthful of Coke and spits it out because it's gross. Probably still gets pretty high because that's more than enough to stay in her mouth to make a kid high as fuck.
Yeah.
He does the same thing, acts like he knows what he's doing. Nope, it's fucking gross.
It's probably like the cinnamon challenge. You can't do it.
Can't do it.
But how'd you guys feel about this? Were you comfortable watching children do cocaine? I was not.
I was not like, I wasn't offended or anything. I was just like, that's maybe about right.
That's what I thought too. That seems realistic.
They were 13. That's like right in that, like, she's already skipping school. But to paint, right?
Yeah.
And she's just like, kind of has this, I want to see what this is all about. And he's just like, I can't let my girlfriend do it by herself.
I don't know. I was not comfortable watching children do cocaine. I didn't have that on my bad movie bingo list.
Don't watch the movie Kids.
Yeah, that's also, I very uncomfortable with the whole movie.
The whole thing.
Yeah, the whole thing. All right, so Pablo, he comes around the corner. He's like, hey, you kids are getting in my Coke. I'm going to eat you for doing that. Because he's a junkie, He wants the Coke for himself. So now they're getting chased around by Pablo the bear.
Yeah.
Off screen, right?
And then we're now getting to Carrie Russell on her bicycle in her awesome fucking onesie.
Her April O'Neil jumpsuit.
That thing is rad.
It is a red suit.
And at nearly 50, she can still rock that thing pretty hard, I will say.
Should we bring back the 80s electric colored jumpsuits?
No.
No? Jackie doesn't like them?
If you're not her, you're not going to be able to look good in it.
Winona Ryder. I bet you Winona Ryder could still look good in one of those.
Okay, yeah, well, let's play for the 0.005% of the population that will look good in one of these things.
Anna de Armas. Bet she looks good in a jumpsuit.
Maybe.
Yeah. I'm going to take a break. I'll be back. Okay. All right. So, Carrie Russell, her character's name is Sari or something like that. She goes to find the kids, and she teams up. She goes to the park ranger and she meets Liz, the park ranger. What's this lady's name?
Margot Martindale.
Margot Martindale. She's fantastic, isn't she?
Yeah, she's fantastic in all of her character acting bits that she's done for the years and years and years.
Yeah. What's the lady that everybody loves? A real good actress. Fried Green Tomatoes, Misery, Kathy Bates.
Yep.
Kathy Bates. Why not Margot Martindale? Huh?
When you're a character actor, you get to work a lot, and after you get pegged for your thing, you're like, fuck it, this sure beats working.
She was just
Why
in
reach?
that The Burbs, the Netflix version of The Burbs that was based on a true story. What was that called? The Watcher. She was really good in it. Really good.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyways, okay, so she's a park ranger. She goes, it's like, my kids are out in the woods. Let's go find them. And this guy named Peter, he shows up. She's got a secret crush on him. And he's like a wildlife activist. And he knows a bunch of shit about wildlife, like saving the trees and all that. And so they're like, yeah, we got to go hunt down these Duchamp gangsters.
The Duchamps.
The Duchamps. Ruffians.
Douches.
Yeah.
These guys are douches. I mean, like,
They are douches. Well, the one guy's not. The one that lives is pretty fun.
yeah, he's pretty fun. But seriously, all they're doing is jumping people in the woods.
They're robbing hikers. They're just stealing shit.
Hikers don't take cash. Like, honey, we're going to go on a picnic. Make sure you bring thousands of dollars.
In 1985, wherever you go, you just have like $200 on you.
I guess that's true in 1985. Yeah, that's a good point. Today, what are you going to do? Take my debit card? I didn't even bring my wallet. I brought a PB&J and egg salad. Would you like to have lunch with us? Because that's the best I can offer you. Okay, so they walk up into the woods. They find Henry. He's stuck up in a tree. Henry's like, there's a bear. It's high on cocaine. So am I. I hope that's okay. But either way, I don't care if I'm in trouble because we're all about to die.
He's left the cocaine out of it because they're like, no, black bears are nice. You can give them a hug. I also kind of thought that, I didn't think it was funny, haha, but the idea of this old lady trying to bang the hippie was something else.
Yeah. I could have, I don't know. Could have gone, it was flat as well.
But it was like a thing where I was like, this is not outside of the realm of possibility.
Yeah.
This is intriguing.
It got walked away from. It wasn't that it was flat or subtle. It was really in your face and then just completely abandoned once Pablo shows up.
Yeah.
And mostly because they don't live very long.
And then he's like, why are you up there? Because bears can't climb trees. Yeah, they can. You're just like, oh, fuck. What am I doing up here?
Yeah, so Pablo attacks, cuts up Liz, the park ranger, pretty good. Mauls
Bites her
a little
ass.
bit. Bites her ass. Which is what she was hoping the Peter would do.
Yep.
So close, Liz, so close. And then Peter, he trips and falls into a pile of coke. And so he's covered in coke and runs up a tree because Pablo's chasing him. And he's like, shit, I'm in the tree now. And that bear wants this coke. And the coke is my body.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the bear's going after the kid.
At first, yeah.
Yeah, and then he smells the cocaine on
Cocaine Peter.
Cocaine Peter, and he's like, nope, that's my guy right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I'm going to get high and a snack.
Yeah, so he this was the scene that's in the trailer that basically sold the whole movie to everybody, the $58 million that it has made. It runs up there and I guess it bites Peter's leg off, which
It
causes
mauls him enough that he falls out of the tree
with his leg
and
off.
with his leg off, and then the bear just snorts all the coke off of his dead body.
Yeah. All right, and Sarah and Henry run deeper into the woods as Liz runs back to her forest ranger office. In St. Louis, right across the street from me and Jackie, Sid is there. He's a complex man. He's got a complex life. He can't go get the coke because he has to watch his grandson be an idiot. My favorite line in any movie of all time happens right here because it is very appropriate to my life, where the Sid is bitching about his grandkid, and the grandkid's like, "Grandpa, look at me," and he falls backwards into a pile of balls in the ball pit, and Sid's like, "Yeah, that's great." Wow. Yeah, amazing. Which is how I feel every day with a 9-year-old. Like, oh yeah. Yep.
That's just really something else.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you don't want to be discouraging, but you also don't want to encourage the behavior. Like, just stop.
Don't give a fucking shit about anything that follows. Hey, watch me is going to suck. Just so you know, kid, just don't.
Look at what I can do.
No, I won't. I don't want to. I'm averting my eyes. And you're going to hurt yourself, aren't you? You're gonna trip and fall into a tree, bash your face open. And so I have to watch. Nope, don't do that. You're gonna hurt yourself. Oh, god damn it. Okay.
It's different with girls. They don't do that as much. They do that. You have to watch our thing, and then it's gonna be joint singing, but there's more arguing about who's doing which part. And you just sit there and you go, just get your shit together, girls. Get your shit together. This act sucks. Can't say that. You just watch it, and it's a dumpster fire.
What is this, dinner theater in Des Moines?
Yeah.
All right. So Sid is, he's too busy watching his kid be a little dipshit. And so he sends his fixer, David, played by Ice Cube Jr. And, hey, speaking of which, when was the last time we saw Ice Cube Jr.? Has he done anything since NWA?
He did a makeup part in the, in Kenobi.
Oh, huh. I must have missed that.
So, that's not Ice Cube?
That is 100% not Ice Cube.
It's his kid that looks exactly like him.
It is.
Oh, shit. Like, the whole movie, I thought, man, he's looking good for his age. Like, I totally thought that was Ice Cube. And I was like, man, that man just does not age. God, he's just looking real good.
He's 75 years old, O'Shea Jackson.
And then I'm like, isn't he also in the Cheerios commercials? Where he's walking for heart health with all the old biddies? Like, no, I think that's somebody else.
Yeah, that's just another. I don't know who that is, Jackie, but it's definitely not Ice Cube. Maybe that's Ice-T.
Oh, it's Ice-T, yeah.
Yeah.
Looks nothing like.
No, he sure doesn't.
No, but anyway, I thought that was Ice Cube. I did not realize that was his son.
Yeah, that's O'Shea Jr. Okay, so he sends David to go get the coke and sends his in mourning son, Eddie. And that's why he's got to watch Eddie's kid, is because Eddie's too in mourning to even be around his own son, because everywhere he goes, something always reminds him of her.
And what happened to her? Did she have cancer?
She was eaten by a cocaine bear. No, I don't know.
No, she had cancer.
Yeah, cancer, that's right.
I also like his grief is like getting shots taken away from him and trying to eat pasta but not being able to do it.
She loved pasta! Okay, so
and he's got a bitchin' mullet.
Eddie?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty good. They drive to Georgia, and when they get there, David takes a break in the bathroom and gets jumped by the Duchamps.
I was surprised that the Duchamps, after he doesn't, like, it's sort of like the dog chasing the cat. When the cat doesn't run, the dog usually disengages.
Uh-huh.
They needed to disengage here when he was like, I'm going to fuck you up if you try to rob me. They're like, no, we're gonna do it.
Nobody's ever said that. What do we do now?
Yeah,
they would walk away.
And they're totally like these skinny little wimpy kids.
They
and
are
I'm
dorks.
like, yeah. And I'm like, oh yeah, this is going to happen. And then he's like, gets stabbed. Ice Cube gets stabbed. And it was like, I love this jersey. Son of a bitch. And then he stacks them all into the toilet.
Teenage
This is
Jenga.
where I thought, and it's really odd because I've kind of changed my mind on Alden Ehrenreich that I started chuckling once he started showing up doing his thing. When he comes into the bathroom and gets all pissed off that he just, what are you doing in here? You just were peeing and you killed these children. What the fuck is going on?
No, I didn't kill any of them. Actually, that guy might be dead. I hit him with a sink. But they're all right. So he interrogates one of them. His name is Stash. Says, I can't remember how he ties them to the cocaine, but he does somehow. It's like, where's the cocaine? And Stash is like, we put it in a gazebo.
There was one of them had brick.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. These bricks are all over the place. They've stashed it in the gazebo up in the woods, and they were going to go back and get it later. I don't know why they didn't just bring it with them. But whatever.
Because they're fucking idiots.
Because they're fucking idiots. And so he's like, okay, you're going to take me to the cocaine. So they head out.
And then I love the relationship that develops between Stash and
Eddie,
right?
Yeah.
And how he's like walking him through this journey of grief, and the Ice Cube's like, shut the fuck up, you two.
No, I want to hear what he has to say. We've got a long walk. What's the harm in us talking?
Yeah.
I thought that was all right, too. Okay, so Liz, the park ranger, she gets back to the station, and she calls in the ambulance. She doesn't say anything about the cocaine bear, though. And the other two DeChamps are in there robbing her. They've been all beat up by Ice Cube Jr., and she thinks that they got ran into by the bear, and they think that she got ran into by O'Shea Jr., and so she pulls out a gun, and she's like, I'm going to kill him, and then they're like, okay, wow.
Yeah. This is escalated.
Yeah, I mean, we're good with it. Fuck that guy, but did not see that coming, Park Ranger. You might be all right with us. Want to join the DeChamps? Huh? No. I want to kill the DeChamps. Oh, shit, get out of here.
Yeah, you're next.
Yeah, because the cocaine bear, it shows up at the door. She's like, I'm going to shoot it in the fucking head. Open the door, and the kid just stands there. And she's like, this was, I don't know what the fuck. She changes the position of her aim to shoot that child in the face.
He stepped in front of it.
I don't think so.
She had her eyes closed because she was afraid and she's not a very good shot.
Yeah.
And he goes, that's a bear. And he walks in front of the door and gets shot in the head.
Yeah. The result is the same. His brains are all over his friend's face. And then the bear gets in there and has its way with pretty much everybody. Off screen.
She seems like we'll later find out what happens is because they also said they called an ambulance.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And what seems to have happened here is that she's used the smallest of the Duchamp game as bait for the bear and then locked it into the supply closet.
Now, something happened to happen before that because she only was bit in the ass. She was able to walk down an entire mountain with a bleeding butt. And then when the EMTs arrive, she is even more like beat up. Like she can't even talk. She's so beat up. Not out of fear. She can't breathe. She's dying. Anyways, so the EMTs show up and one of them opens up the door and there's the Duchamp kid's head in a bucket. He's like, oh my God, what the fuck, lady? You blew this kid's head off and then you chopped it. Oh my God, there's a bear.
Yep.
Pablo's in there hanging out in the dark, listening to Zepp. Assuming that's what you do on cocaine, because we really don't know anything about cocaine.
It probably, because it's in the dark, is like so high that it's now disoriented. It's just like, oh, fuck, I'm all fucked up. Just sits there because it's dark, doesn't know what to do.
Probably. So they get out of there. Two of them, Liz and the lady EMT. The bear tramples the other EMT with the door, and he uses cocaine to distract it, I think, to get out of there.
He hits it with his medical bag, and it's the same color as the cocaine bags, and the bear's like, there's probably some good shit in there.
Yep.
And then these two, I don't think these are just casting people. I don't know who the gal is. The guy is the angry customer service guy on TikTok. So he's made it onto the silver screen from like social media.
Oh, God damn it.
Okay.
Yeah, he's pretty funny.
He influenced his own way.
She's pretty
Hollywood.
funny. She also, like, I was looking at the red carpet for this movie.
Mm-hmm.
She decided to do the red carpet with a chainmail skirt, bikini bottom, and pasties.
Bold.
Like, they're like happy panda faces or something like that. She was nothing left to the imagination.
Chainmail.
It was weird.
Okay, little Red Sonja action going on, I guess.
But it wasn't. It was like, you just have to look at it. You're like, that is a very interesting wardrobe decision. None of this makes any sense.
Okay.
It sounds like to me that she's thirsty.
Yeah, she might be thirsty. Getting some attention.
Mm-hmm. That's just gross.
Probably working. Okay. So they all pile into the ambulance. Bear's chasing after them. Run full speed down the road. They can't. The ambulance isn't faster than a bear, I guess. But it jumps into the back. Fucks. All sorts of hell breaks loose inside that ambulance.
Yeah. The arm coming off was particularly good gore, I thought.
Yeah. Male EMT gets his arm torn off, and mostly. That's what's worse about it, is it's mostly hanging. It's pretty gross. And then she steps on the gas or something, and Liz, the park ranger, flies out and pancakes her face on the gravel.
Skids. Just like half of her body gets ripped off, and it's the most horrible way to die ever. The worst road rash ever, with weight of the
gurney
bed on there. Just god awful way to go.
It was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the EMT ran into the telephone pole.
Yeah, and she flies through the window and dies.
Yep. These people did not make it, and they all died horribly.
Yeah.
And I'm now going, holy shit, that is a high-dollar creature feature set piece of gore. Mm-hmm. I don't know if I've ever seen anything like that before.
Sure you have.
Not a road rash.
Not the dollar amount, but you've seen this before, and we'll get to that later.
Okay.
I liked it. I think this is the best sequence in the whole movie, on it, without a doubt. I
think that the sequence might be 15 to 20% of its budget.
Yeah, I don't think I'm alone in. I believe the majority of viewers of this movie are going to say that that's the best sequence in the whole thing. I applaud. I liked it. I was fun with it. I was good. Anyways, so Sari and Henry, they track Dee Dee. They're tracking her down because she's left a paint trail. She's heading into the woods deeper. David and Eddie, they get to the gazebo, but Bob's already there, and he's got the cocaine bag, and he's like, "Freeze, assholes!" And David's like, "Hell no!" And so Bob shoots David's fingers off. There's some finger comedy. Can you get those for me? And they're like, hold on, there's a stalemate while we pick up David's fingers.
Yeah.
Truce.
This was actually, I think, this worked. The comedy in this whole scene works pretty good.
I did. Yeah, I thought that this was fine.
The kid that isn't anybody that's Stash, his name's like Aaron Holiday. Mm-hmm. He's doing very well in this sequence, sort of having to punch against his weight against established actors. He's punching above his weight a little bit here, and it's like, his fingers weren't even next to each other. How did that happen?
Yeah, it's pretty funny. The bear, Pablo does show up though, and he's getting pretty tired. He's been doing coke all day, so he decides to take a nap on top of Eddie.
Yep,
lays down. And there was one line in here that was stupid. Didn't work because he's like, "It's not a he, it's a she." How do you know that? Because its vagina is on my ear, which would be funny if it was true.
It couldn't be.
He
would be able to get out from underneath there if the vagina was on the ear.
It just failed for me because it's like, no, it's not.
It's not.
We can see you. I know where a bear's vagina is. It is not in its neck. Right? Anybody? Jackie?
Yeah.
Yes, you are correct.
Did you
the
think
vagina is not
it's not in a neck.
Towards the neck of a bear.
It's I don't know where it is, but I know it's not in the neck. I'm still looking for anybody to tell me where vaginas are located.
this joke was just kind of like, what the fuck? It's just like somebody thought it was funny, so they threw it in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Made the script, and then Elizabeth Banks was like, no, I don't want it. I don't want its ass on top of his head. I don't know. Whatever. Okay. So, yeah, I mean, its tits are in my back. There you go. Problem solved. Right? Okay. So, Bob, he's up there. He's like, okay, how are we going to get this bear off you, and then we can get back to our Mexican standoff? Well, Sid has shown up, shoots him in the stomach. And his partner, which I was like, why is his partner even there? Bob's partner. Like, the betrayal. It went nowhere.
She's on the take. I guess that means something or whatever. I don't know.
What does that have to do with the plot of the movie? Why do we care? Why does she even exist?
Well, she ratted out to Sid where he went. So then Sid's like, oh, fuck, the cops are on him, so I got to go down there myself.
Hey, David, how's that cocaine hunt going? Not so good. I just got my finger shot off by a cop on top of a gazebo in the forest. Okay, I'll be there in a little bit.
Where are they called? There's no phone booth. It's a fucking wilderness. It's 1985.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, yeah.
So she rats him out.
She's a MacGuffin.
He's like, I got to go down there, and she's like, don't hurt him. She says that. So she goes and brings the dogs because she thinks she's just going to bring back a loose cannon cop that has no jurisdiction down there anyway.
Right.
Everybody lives. Just leave the coke guys alone. I guess I'll be fired later. I don't want you to die.
Yeah, I don't know.
But he shoots him.
Yeah, it was a MacGuffin. I didn't like her in this movie at all. Okay, so they all are like, you killed that guy. Let's go find some coke. So Sarah and Henry, they find Olaf, the guy from the hiker from the beginning of the movie, and he's like, yeah, there's a bear. It killed the love of my life. And I'm not happy, but I watched a small child walk into that cave that bears live in.
Yeah.
And he didn't bother to try and stop her.
Hey, little kid, you want to try to get out of this forest together? No, I'm good. I'm going to go into a bear cave while escaping bears.
It's almost like the bear just like ushered her into the cave or something.
Welcome.
Yeah, because the bear did drag her off.
That's what they say, but then how did she leave the paint trail?
I'm not sure.
And like Olaf is like, I saw the kid go in the cave. It doesn't work. Anyway, so they go into the cave, and inside the cave are a couple cubs that are junkies.
High on cocaine.
They like the bear has gone back to the cave and said, you guys got to try this shit. It's good stuff.
Cocaine cubs.
Cocaine cubs. Uncut, pure Nicaraguan dandy candy.
It's probably why they didn't win a World Series for 107 years or whatever it was.
Cubbies.
Cubbies.
Ba-dum-tsh. Okay, so then Sid and his crew, they arrive in the cave, and they find the last bag of cocaine stuck up in a tree, and Sid's like, nobody move, I got a gun. I'm going to get this cocaine. Somebody try to get that cocaine. I'll shoot your kids if you don't help me get the cocaine. Mama Bear arrives, and they're like, okay, goodbye. And they jump into
Looks like we're going to have to jump.
Yeah, they jump into the water.
And and Ray Liotta's character, Sid, whatever, he kicks the cocaine cubs.
Yeah.
He hits it with the butt end of the rifle, too. And then he makes I thought this was kind of funny, and I think this worked. You might not think it worked. He, makes a quick decision that's an instantly bad one, where he's like, David, here. And he throws a rifle to a guy that only has one hand. Mm-hmm. All of a sudden, Carrie Russell catches it. And she's like, fuck off, dickface. And he's like, that was a poor decision.
That was a poor decision.
I realize he only has one hand now.
You need two for a rifle, unless you're Schwaz. Yeah, and then David gets hit in the neck with a bullet on the way down too, right?
Yeah, so he just tries to unload the 9mm onto the bear, and he doesn't land all the shots. He hits David in the neck.
David.
Yeah.
Okay. Now he's still trying to get that cocaine, and the bears give him a brave heart. Pull his guts out.
Yeah.
Play around in him.
Eat it. Bear
Yeah.
cubs eat Ray Liotta's guts.
Yeah, you got any Coke in there? We're filled with Coke. We want to eat your guts. Cocaine guts. It's like a hot dog with cocaine. Later, we're going to make condoms out of your stomach.
Oh,
'Cause we're gonna be
Gross.
all high on the cocaine, and we're going to want to screw the bear clan that's down the way. But they're dumb, so we don't want to get pregnant. So we're gonna
God damn it.
So we're gonna make a condom out of your tummy. I hope that's okay. Okay. Yeah. So they all float away. Carrie Russell's character stitches up David, and they all go home.
The
end.
dirty cop's like, here, that guy's dead. Here's his dog.
Here's his dog.
I'm fucking out. And David's like, is that dog on cocaine? No.
No.
Okay. Nice dog.
And that's it. That's the movie. Okay. Questions? Jackie?
Where can we get some cocaine so we can give it to one of our dogs and see what happens?
That is a crime. We are not going to solicit illicit drugs.
Also, remember the real bear OD'd and died immediately.
Immediately.
Oh, I wouldn't want to do that to my dog.
Also-
He's pretty cool.
We clearly have no idea even how much humans should ingest of cocaine.
Yeah.
So I think we're not qualified to medicate pets.
At this stage in our lives, we just need to say no thanks. I don't know anything about that. I'm good. Thank you. Sorry.
You ever blow weed in a dog's face?
No.
I have.
Yeah, it's not nice.
They get pretty fucked up.
They do.
Yeah. Why do I get to have all the weed? Why doesn't my best friend get any of that weed? They're staring at me. You want to give me some of that weed? I guess I should, shouldn't I? You gotta blow the smoke in the dog's face. You got to. It's not fair.
Okay.
That's your bestie, man.
Yeah.
That's fucking stupid.
Why?
Why would you do that?
So the dog can get high.
The dog's gonna get high just sitting next to you.
Yeah, well, not as high. They live in the same bullshit world we live in, Jackie.
Okay.
They have just as much right to take a little bit of a break from the stress and toils of the day. Watch some Scooby-Doo. Have some
I
Funyuns.
thought it gives dogs anxiety kind of a thing.
Uh-oh. Whoops. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. Okay. Yeah. Marijuana corgi. Not quite the same ring as Cocaine
Nope.
Bear. Cocaine Bear 2. This is a success. Hollywood's
But
looking
how?
everywhere for sequels. I don't know.
Everybody that's involved has to say no. Let whoever else do Cocaine Bear too. You're playing with house money at this point. You don't want to give it back.
Cocaine Bear on a plane. You know, they do some dumb shit. I'm just saying, is there a possibility that there's a sequel?
Cocaine Bear Dominion.
Dominion.
I'd have to save that for the third one when they really tank this thing out all the way.
The Return.
Cocaine circus.
Yeah, cocaine.
Even the elephant is high.
Oh, I like that. I like that a lot. I mean, I don't. It would suck, but Jackie,
That
well
would be
done.
the most horrifying. Isn't that like what Rob Zombie makes his movies or Cocaine Circus
Yeah,
every
Cocaine
time, pretty much?
Okay, heroin circus. Let's just
People
keep
just
moving
laying
through the drugs.
around.
Fentanyl circus. Yeah, I don't know. Bath salt circus.
Yikes.
Sam, you got any questions?
When's the last time that you saw a horror movie that was actually this good?
Would you say that this is a horror movie? I don't know if I'd label this as a horror movie.
It's a horror movie.
I don't know if I'd
It's
go
a
there.
monster. The bear is a monster.
It's a creature feature.
It's a creature feature horror movie. It got me to like get a little jump about 4 times.
Oh, really? Huh.
Yeah.
I can't think of one that is a horror movie that was better than this one.
We're not going to say Violent Night's a horror movie? No, not really.
No.
It's an action movie.
Yeah.
caper. I don't know. I mean, I see horror movies all the time. You're not into the new vein.
They're crappy.
Yeah, but think about everything that Jordan Peele's doing. Yeah, Jordan Peele movies are way the fuck better than this, Sam.
Okay, there you go. When's the last time you saw a creature feature this good?
Oh, that is never, for sure. Have I seen a creature feature that is good is more of a question. I love them. I love creature features, but they're all stupid.
Yeah, this is probably I can't think of a better creature feature than this one.
Yeah.
Well, I'm still holding out for Meth Gator.
Humanoids from the Deep. I would say Humanoids from the Deep is the closest second I could give, the old Roger Corman movie. It's silly and zany.
You know what? This isn't as good as The Thing.
No, it's definitely not The Thing. I would also say The Fog is semi-creature feature-ish. The Fog is a monster. The Fog is a monster. Yes, there's ghost pirates inside of it, but The Fog is a monster.
Okay.
John Carpenter. Anything John Carpenter did, obviously. But not in a while. I mean, especially if you think about like the string of attempts lately of this vein of movie and them all falling flat. This was a success.
Yeah.
Do I think that there is room for improvement? Absolutely. I'm gonna, if we're done with questions, I'm gonna move on to final recommendations, and I'm gonna start if that's
okay.
With you guys.
Wait, I have one more question.
Okay, go ahead.
Do the Colombians find Eddie anyway?
Yeah, Eddie and his child are dead.
Isn't that like why the Cocaine Cowboys guys, like what's his face, Roberts he was never into them. He just paid for it up front. Like, I'm done here. You can't come after me. I gave you your fucking money. Fuck off.
Right.
I'll make my end somewhere else.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you don't fuck with the Colombians. They'll get you. Sorry, Eddie. You didn't make it. Okay, so final recommendations. Yes, it's a do for me. I think everybody that listens to this podcast will enjoy it. But I do think that I have nothing against Elizabeth Banks as a person. I think she did a terrible job here. I think that her not terrible job. I shouldn't just use the dirtiest word.
Worked, so she did her job. Right?
I think that she was not the right choice to direct this movie. I think that she has no experience directing such a film as this, and we've seen a lot of films that are a comedic gore fest. This is what the Bad Movie Podcasts are always based on, is comedic gore fest. That's basically step one into the bad movies is comedic gore fest. Piranha Double D, that's like the bench for me is comedic gore fest. There's a bunch of them out there. And I just think that like there was her lack of experience in this vein, that she had never seen something like this before. And I think there's 1,000 movies like this before. It showed because the movie is called Cocaine Bear. It's outlandish. It's over the top. And I thought the film at no point was over the top. And it always tried to ground itself in reality. And a lot of it was off screen. And other than the ambulance scene, that was the only thing that was over the top. Ray Liotta's guts coming out was like, oh, okay, there's Ray Liotta's guts. It wasn't Machete. Machete's an insane movie. The Bullet Storm one with Clive Owen, that's an over-the-top movie. This was supposed to be over the top based off of the trailer, and it's just not. I thought it was kind of milquetoast in a lot of its big things that it was trying to accomplish. And so I was definitely disappointed by it. But it's a do.
Am I next?
Can be.
All right, I'm giving it a do too, but I'm not going to give her as much of a bad time because I think that those are the reasons why everything you just said, it not being Machete, is why it's making money. Machete 2 tanked.
Sure.
It was funny.
Yeah.
It was better than the first one, and nobody fucking watched it.
Sure.
There's a level of over the top that you get to where you're serving this podcast and very little else of the population. I think
it's true.
Had she not made some of those decisions, this wouldn't have worked in the financial arena as well as it has.
I'll double stamp that.
she was in a spot where she needed her movie to make money. So I say good job, Elizabeth Banks.
Yeah, but then you can just shit out a PG-13 movie and all the kids go see it. And, all the money.
Well, maybe she'll do that next. I didn't have a problem with what happened here. I think that it is a tighter ship than I thought I was going to see. So I disagree and think she did all right. I think if I was to recommend anything, because there isn't any other writing credits on this, I really feel like the spec script kind of hit everybody hard enough that they didn't feel that they should alter things that maybe needed to be altered in the writing.
I clearly, by the vagina thing, I don't think they altered the script at all. It's
that's a failure, but
delivery of it.
Yeah, it still worked as a unit and made money, so she's done pretty decently.
Yeah, it's a do for Elizabeth Banks, but okay. Jax?
I want to say that we went on a Tuesday afternoon, I believe it was, to watch this movie.
Oh, yeah.
And everybody in the theater was like old.
Really
like a bunch
old.
of Q-tip heads. And
Floridians.
I was shocked. I mean, it was almost a packed house. And people loved it.
Yes, they loved it a lot. Sam, what was your demographic like?
I went on to the earliest showing that you could go to the theater, and there was like 5 other people in the theater. I thought I was going to be watching it for myself in the dead center recliner.
Uh-huh.
I was in there by myself for so long that when I sat there and I was like, fuck, the recliner doesn't work. I don't think anybody's coming. I'll just move over to the one that does. And I was like, no, I have the perfect seat. This is like I'm a Hollywood producer screening a film in the dead center of the theater in a recliner. So I went out and I was like, the recliner's not working. And then some kid fucked with it and fixed it. And then I was like, thank you. And I watched it and I had a hot dog and a soda. And eventually, like, a couple, like, filtered in and sat in the same row I was sitting in. And then a mom and 2 kids sat behind me.
How old were these kids?
12 to 14.
That's borderline, man. That's borderline. But okay, I'll allow it.
They were the only ones really talking early in the previews. They shut up when the movie started, which was nice. But we got the prequel to Evil Dead trailer.
Yeah. We'll get into that in a minute. I want to go back to Jackie. I was asking you if your audience was weird like ours, because ours was weird. We were the youngest people in the theater, Sam. The youngest, and we are old.
Yeah.
I didn't get it. And like, it was also weird because one of them, and I'm not like, oh, sorry, old people, that sucks. I think one of them was suffering from a little bit of dementia because she kept like telling her friend what was happening on screen. The mom is going to go look for the kid. There's a bear and it's on cocaine, like through the whole movie. And I'm like, oh my fucking God, what is happening with these old people? Why would old people be like, cocaine bear? That's us. That's our movie. Steel Magnolias, cocaine bear. That's all we like. And then Matlock in between. It was weird.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. They bust him in for that from the home and like, that's a bad choice.
So it was an actual bad movie field trip.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. The old people loved it. I mean, they all just loved it. So yeah, I mean, I'll add to my do. If you're a Floridian Del Boca Vista resident, it's a do. You'll like it. I don't know why you will, but you will.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's 3 do's from us.
Well, it doesn't lie to you up front. It's like cocaine bear. Everybody that walks in knows what they're getting.
Yeah. Right. It's just,
and actually, I got more than what I thought I was going to get because I thought they were going to skip the gore or cut away.
Mm-hmm.
And that gore was just awesome.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. Definitely was not Wolf Cop, and that's what we were expecting.
Yeah.
So, anyways, the trailers. We have got to discuss some of these trailers, and I hope you got all the same trailers we got. We did get the Evil Dead. It looks like the sequel to the last movie, the remake.
No, it looks like a prequel, like they're going in before.
Yeah, but it's
before.
It's in that franchise, not Ash. It's not in the Ash universe.
Yeah.
Which is like, you guys don't get the Evil Dead at all, do you? So it's a zombie movie? Just call it something else. Why does it have to be The Evil Dead?
That's because Bruce Campbell and Sam Raimi are going to make a bunch of cash off of that name.
Ding!
And they're like, we're done with this, so if you guys want to fuck it up, as long as we get that sweet cash, we're fine.
Yeah, good point. Good point. Bruce is in his cabin in Medford just being like, rolling in money for not working.
Yeah. He got to do his Ash thing. He's fine with it now.
Yep. You interested? I'm not.
No.
I mean, as a fan of Evil Dead, especially Evil Dead 2, like, it's making fun of what you're making, stupid.
Yeah.
If you're going to do that, go ahead. I'm not interested. The teenagers behind me were like, hard pass.
Whoa.
They were there for Cocaine Bear. Of course
Yeah.
it's a hard pass for those
good
teenagers.
call.
They
Good
like
call.
Evil Dead 2.
You know what I'm tired of? And I'm assuming I'm not alone in this because this has been the thing for like the last 15 years in horror movies, is the person crawling up the wall backwards. Like, dude, it's been done. That's like every fucking Blumhouse movie. Every single one. Oh, ever since the little girl crawled out of the goddamn TV.
No, it's from the fucking Exorcist.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I guess it is from The Exorcist.
You're not going to get there. You're not going to match it.
but
Give up.
Nobody did it for like 30 years, and then all of a sudden, every fucking horror movie, oh, I gotta crawl up the wall backwards. Oh, what are you doing up there? Can you get the cobwebs? Because you're not scaring me. You're not doing anything. You're just up there going, yeah. Back. I'm on the ground. You're up there. Fuck off.
That's when you get your broom and you're like, get down from there. And start hitting him with the handle.
That spooky thing. I like it. I mean, yeah, you're not attacking from a good position. Anything you do, I'm going to be able to, okay, do the thing where you jump onto me and I'm just going to throw you head first into the toilet.
Yep.
You're an idiot, spooky monster. What are you doing up there? Come down and have a discussion like a civilized person, bastard. Sam, did you get the Renfield?
Yeah, I did. I got Renfield. I'm pretty jacked about that.
Can't wait.
I thought that the composition of the trailer was excellent because they're like, I was already like interested. I was like, oh, it's the comedian. What's her name?
Aquafina.
Aquafina's in it, and I like Nicholas Hoult fine. It's given me enough that I was like, oh, I'm gonna put a flyer on this one anyway. And then they're all, oh, by the way, Nick Cage is Dracula, and you're like, oh, fuck you, I'm in.
Oh, fuck you.
Oh, I was so excited.
I was the exact same way because I was like, okay, this seems like an interesting promise. Oh, wait, Aquafina has signed off on it. She's going to attach herself to it. Anything she says, this is funny, I immediately say, you know what, woman, I trust you with my fate. I'm going to see this movie. And then the reveal was like, holy fuck. Is Nick Cage back?
He might be.
Is he Pulp Fictioning right now?
Movie.
Because it's two theaters in a year. I mean, not in a year. It's every, as many years he's been in the movie. Oh, God. What am I trying to say? 2 theater releases in as many years. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. And I think that the people making, like, he was sort of bent out of shape about where the money people were running Hollywood. And I feel like the generation that is currently directing movies all grew up on him, and so they're all back. Like, so basically, like, I think it's just come back to him. It's just come back around, and people that are making these things are like, you know who could do this, and only who could do this is Nick Cage.
You know, we're doing these like reboots from, not reboots, but like really long ago movies. One of them's fucking nominated for an Oscar this year. It's called Top Gun. Nobody asked for it. We got it. Made all the money. You think we're going to see like Con Air 2?
I hope not.
I hope not, but
I like stuff
He'd
like
say
this
yes.
for him, where he gets to shine.
I obviously, but I know Nick Cage, he's going to say yes to it.
He's been pretty choosy lately. I think after that Outcast movie, he was even choosy with the DTV stuff. He was like, oh, this was too much ridiculous.
My understanding is that his choosiness is that if he has to, if the movie is not about his character, he will say no. But
yeah,
other than that, yeah, bring it. I don't know. Either way, can't wait for Renfield. I don't know if that's going to be a field trip because it looks actually pretty good.
It's probably going to be pretty good.
Yeah. All right, next week on the show is not a show. Jackie is off. Sam and I are still debating on whether we're going to do one. We'll probably do a body horror or a goopy creature feature so that Jackie doesn't have to suffer through that. So we're still determining, but Jackie will not be here next week. And there's a possibility that Sam and I won't be, but we'll see.
Okay.
So
Because I'm going to Branson.
You're going to Branson. Have a great week, guys. Get to the chopper.